interviews with the politicians because you have to be very strategic when you interview them, and in order to try to get the truth out of them. Highlights as a performer would probably be representing South Africa and China at the Young People's Concerts in Hangzhou. Ditshego Media, definitely the work that I've done with arts and culture, and just also how much we have inspired the youth. It's one of those companies that Black Youth specifically looks at and realizes or understands that it's possible for them to become whatever it is that they can become. So every day I enjoy giving them that hope through working with Ditshego Media. And then of course another highlight would be being the top 2 finalists on SABC One's One Day Leader. So I've done quite a bit, and South Africa and the universe has been very kind in terms of my career. Well, writing. I cannot stress enough how important knowing how to write is. I've worked with people who weren't even sure how to write an email, and writing also translates to how you communicate. So that all touches on journalism. Journalism is about communicating, but also having a goal in your communication. What is it that you want to get out of the communication that you're having, either with somebody that you're interviewing or with somebody that you're speaking to? So if you want to sell yourself and whatever. So, and then I work in PR. Journalism plays a huge role in PR as well because of the writing skills, also because of knowing how to work with deadlines. In the newsroom, you're given 2 hours, 3 hours max to break the story, and you have to do it right where you are. So you have to concentrate. You have to be very focused, and that's all things that I've learned from journalism. But also being strategic in communication and knowing how to get what it is that you want out of a situation and out of people without them even knowing that you're trying to get something out of them. Definitely my grandmother. I always make that example because my grandmother was the first founder of a school in my community called Ngubane, and she started the first school. She and my grandfather built the first bridge so that kids could be able to go to that school, and then thereafter she built the second school, and then she started a community project for the women who weren't working. She is a phenomenal woman, and at some point I remember we used to call her Ukoko Memlambo because she was also my teacher, so I had to ma'am as well and Koko as well. So she's definitely my biggest inspiration. She's 82 now, still works, still runs projects, still assists the community. So I was lucky not to have to look too far for inspiration. It was right at home. I think the biggest tool would definitely be strategy and responsibility. So strategy speaks to understanding the process of what it is that you want to do before you even begin doing it. And that's very important because you can't just start things on a whim because it's exciting. You have this great idea, I want to start this. And I mean, the youth is very excited. We are constantly in everything that we do, yes, which is amazing. But now we need to put strategy into that excitement. And that's the one important thing about social media is for every post, for every picture, does it fall in line with the strategy that you have placed? And then there's a responsibility. You have to be responsible on social media, and that's something that everyone should implement in terms of how do we communicate, how are we addressing people that we're speaking to, are we using profanity, are we communicating in a way that we would communicate if we were facing that person face to face. That's what I always say. I say most of the things that people write on social media do so because they're not seeing that person, and they have there's no human connection. And when you lose the human connection, you lose our humanity. So that's about the responsibility part. Be responsible, understand you're communicating with human beings, and we can go from. I look forward to the day that it is recognized as one of not just the biggest but the most influential PR companies in the world and in the African continent. And I look forward to the day where we move from just inspiring young individuals to inspiring brands to change the way that they do PR. Because if we can infiltrate the spirit of Ubuntu, the spirit of being African, into corporates all over the world, but especially in Africa, we would have made the biggest difference. And that's what it is that we want to do. And that's what the feel that you get when you come into our offices, because we want to embody all that is beautiful about Africa, all that is kind about Africa. And the day that we get to do that, and we also get big companies like your APSs, made quite big blunders trying to understand the African market. If we can get big corporations like that to say, but how do you do it? Help us reach Africa, help us speak for Africa, help us speak Africa, and then we will really be authentic, and we would have shaped South Africa and the African continent as a whole. So I'm very excited about that, and I know that it's going to happen. For me, saying I want to change the world, I believe I already do in my little corners and my little circles. But I always say I don't want to die. Well, I always say I don't want to live an ordinary life. Every single day I wake up, I want to do something extraordinary, because it is in the extraordinary that we can influence and change the world. I definitely want to continue being a pioneer for Black women, and for women as a whole, but like for us to find our voice, for us to speak on top of the mountains, for us to make the decisions, instead of being behind the men who make the decisions, as they say, but like for us to take our rightful place, and worldwide, not just in South Africa. And I believe I can do it with the guidance of my amazing grandmother and amazing other women who I've seen who I think it's all about where you are, make a difference where you are, whatever it is that you're doing.